Get ready for a shiver to run down your spine. Not that long ago, Donald Trump had to choose someone to take over for retiring Justice Kennedy for the Supreme Court. And there was a name being passed around, Amy Coney Barrett, who's a far-right, anti-abortion rights judge. And she didn't end up getting nominated for it. Obviously, we got a troll of a different sort. And many people have wondered, why is that? Like, she seems like it would have been an easier path. She didn't have this really scary history from the 80s and 90s. And we know now, thanks to some reporting by Axios, why she did not get nominated for that position. Trump said about her, "I'm saving her for Ginsburg." 3 people who had that conversation with him have gone on record, or not by name, but gone on record saying it. He used that exact same line with a number of other people, including in a conversation with an advisor 2 days before announcing that Brett Kavanaugh, best played by Matt Damon in my experience. I like his performance as Brett Kavanaugh better than Brett Kavanaugh's.
It's easier to digest, I'll tell you that.
So I'm saving her for Ginsburg, implying that not only is he anticipating another seat in the Supreme Court, we can sort of understand, everyone would do that. But he is just waiting, just biding his time for her, since she said that she's not retiring, presumably waiting for her to die.
Which is, it's just a horrible thing to say out loud. I don't mind that you have a list of judges, but I'm saving her for Ginsburg. It's just, just gross, and it's egotistical, and
it's gross. It's cruel. It's completely lacking in humanity. So it's a Trump thing to say, but it also, by the way, that's the cake. The icing is a lot of misogyny. First of all,
it gets better,
the idea that, I mean, I'm not gonna nominate a woman for a guy's seat, but maybe if the woman kicks off, then I'll put another woman up for it. But there's another layer to it than that even. So some Trump advisors worried that Barrett's staunch opposition to abortion rights would lose the votes of Senators Susan Collins and Lisa Murkowski. Trump came to doubt that, quote, the women, his shorthand for Collins and Murkowski, would support Barrett, according to sources who discussed the situation with Trump at the time. So those 2 senators are to Trump, the women. And by the way, if you have a multi-centuries old political party and all of the women in your party can be summed up in just those 2 senators, that's kind of a bad thing. You shouldn't try to end up there as a party.
Also, these 2, especially during the Kavanaugh hearings, like these 2 senators, I think lost a lot of respect from people on both sides of the aisle on how they kind of, like towed the line a little bit, like weren't sure what they were gonna do. And then ultimately, it seemed like, I mean, like we heard at least one speech that was
Susan
like,
Collins.
I'm somewhat against this, but I'm voting for him anyway.
Yeah.
And so you wonder if how much of that is not necessarily in support of your own personal beliefs, but in support of just going with the party and going for Trump, and then turn around and this is how he talks about you. You're not a senator. You're not someone he respects. You're just one of the women.
You're one of the women.
Yeah, I mean, it's.
Yeah, and so look, it's scary his approach to them, but scarier and perhaps scariest about Trump, I think. And there's a lot of things, and so I might be missing something, but not just the judges he might get. Look, if he gets Ruth Bader Ginsburg's seat in the Supreme Court, that's a 12 out of 10 emergency for the country, obviously. But we don't need to get to that. We are in the danger zone right now. Donald Trump has so far confirmed 91 Article 3 judges. That's 2 associate justices of the Supreme Court, 36 for the Court of Appeals, 53 for the district courts. That is, in 2 years, a good record for a term or 2 of any other president. Barack Obama served 4 times as long and he got 2 justices. Trump has already gotten that. There are many reasons that Trump should have never been president and that it's a disaster that he did. But this might tower over all of the others because it touches so many other areas of life. Those judges, the dozens and dozens on the levels of the judiciary right below the Supreme Court, they're more powerful in some ways than the Supreme Court because the Supreme Court doesn't take up most cases. And instead it will be the crazy far right extremists that Trump has been packing the 2 lower levels of the courts with that will stop cases from ever getting there. That'll shoot down things before the Supreme Court even considers them if they do.
Right, and so I think that's something that a lot of people forget about. So we're in this kind of process of trying to figure out how to defeat him and trying to figure out how to not let what happened in 2016 happen again. But this is a reminder that there's so many aspects of his presidency that cannot be erased.
Yeah. Exactly.
You know?
Yeah, and can't be erased even if we get everything we want from here on out.
Right.
If somehow in the next year, AOC ages 6 years and becomes the first female president, she will still face dozens and dozens and dozens of judges that will be doing everything they can to curtail her ability to pursue her agenda and to strike down things that she passes into law. That's the sunk cost now. There's nothing we can do about that. We could have when we were warning against that before Trump became president. But the only thing we can do is take a little bit of a silver lining. In future elections, always, always, always remember the judges and remember how important and how long lasting the damage of the wrong president can be. Thank you very much for watching this clip from the Damage Report. If you liked it, don't forget to subscribe to this channel and ring the bell on YouTube to get notifications of our new videos. And of course, you can catch the full Damage Report live every weekday at 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific on TYT Network on YouTube TV.